Yes.
What's up?
What the heck, huh?
Have you ever seen one of those?
She leaves it in her nail drawer.
Yeah.
In a really
it's
safe
funny.
place.
I never take this thing out. You know what it's good for? Show and tell. It was a big hit at show and tell with all the kids growing up.
They would take it to
Oh,
school?
can we take the medal?
You let them without going with them?
Yeah, why not? Yeah. The games were a place where I could, for one time in my life, be as good as I wanted to be. And that's what that medal represents.
As he crossed the finish line, someone handed an American flag. And he ran a whole lap with this. People were crying, screaming, yelling. It was a very heart-wrenching moment.
Suddenly he went from a wannabe athlete to one of the biggest celebrities in America.
He's done it! Bruce Jenner set a new world decathlon record.
I spent a good part of my life getting ready for that day. I worked out a lot, ate a lot of Wheaties.
The XG1 35mm is so automatic, I can keep taking...
Would you welcome, please, Bruce Jenner.
I never once, and I look back on it now, I never once had a dream when I lost.
Never lost in your dreams?
No, never lost. I was undefeated.
That's
People with money and with platforms wanted to be associated with Bruce Jenner in any way possible.
We'll work out together today to get ourselves in just a little bit better shape. As an athlete, I know the value of a daily workout and the value of orange juice after a workout.
And all that became an incredibly powerful social force.
Okay, kids. See, I'm interrupting.
Bruce Jenner became this kind of celebrity, which we're familiar with in America now, which is, it's almost somebody who's famous for being famous.
I had proved myself as a man. And I still had this person living inside me that I had never really ever dealt with.
Well, you spend more time here now.
I know. It works good there.
It likes all the colors.
Are we ready?
Almost.
I'm telling you, this girl thing's a lot of work.
Is your head like 5 pounds heavier?
Yes, it is, yeah.
I think we're ready enough for you to get dressed,
Yeah.
and then we'll do like a final.
A little touch up. Okay. Let's get dressed. When you deal with gender issues, everybody has their own way of trying to deal with it. The decathlon for me was kind of the ultimate in what people think of as manhood. So for me, it was a good place to hide. I had a need to prove myself that maybe that woman that's living inside of me really isn't living there. My gosh, you're still around doing this. How's it going? Good to see you. It has been a long time. What have you doing? Are you retired now?
Pretty much.
Yeah, pretty much.
I really admire your courage.
Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Yeah, it was a long struggle, but we got there.
When you talk to Caitlyn about the journey of Bruce Jenner, the decathlete, she immediately goes back to 1972.
And there's Fred Sumer.
That is Fred. Okay.
Yeah.
Look at you. Fucking stud. Stud.
Look at
you.
It was in 1972 in Eugene that Bruce broke through.
Come here, let's get a picture with a bunch of these. My mission that year was to try to see if I could make it to the Olympic trials. All right, let's get at the finish line. Might as well get there. I did make the qualifying standard to go to the trials in Eugene, Oregon. That's why Eugene has always been so special to me. Where do you want me? Right about there? Yeah. Okay. I wasn't even ranked in the top 10 in the U.S. Nobody really knew who I was. You never, ever thought you would ever go to an Olympic Games.
Look at this way.
Bruce goes to the Olympic trials. He's not expected to make the team, but at the same time, there was considered to be one spot available on the team, and Bruce just had the meat of his life.
So I'm in 10th place with 3 to go. I go to the pole vault, went from 10th to 7th. Through the javelin, went from 7th to 5th. Going into the 1,500 meters. I had to beat this guy named Steve Goff from Seattle, Washington by 18 seconds in the race. His best time, my best time, 14 seconds difference. I was 14 seconds faster. Figuring he's gonna run his best race, I gotta run 4, 5, 6 seconds faster than I've ever run before. I knew I was going to do it. You know, I said, I'll crawl if I have to. I'll do whatever I have to do to get to the finish line to beat this guy by 18 seconds. It's just gonna happen. There's the finish line. That was the first time in my life I really reached down deep. And it showed me the potential that I had. If you want something bad enough, you can get it. My life changed with that one race. It changed everything.
Jenner piled up enough points to win a spot on the U.S. Olympic team at Munich in 1972. His 10th place finish there was enough to make him hungry for more.
The most significant thing of my first Olympic experience in Munich happened after the competition was over with. I stood off on the side, kind of in the shadows of the Olympic Stadium, and watched for the first time, happening right in front of me, an Olympic gold medal ceremony. It was overwhelming. This guy named Nikolai Avilov of the Soviet Union stood on top of that platform. He had just broken the world record. And pretty much made a decision right there that I'm gonna take the next 4 years of my life, every minute of every day. I'm gonna test myself just to see how good I could becoming something. Because you know what? That's what I want. That's what I'm going for. Bonanno, this is exactly where I left you. Exactly where I left both of you guys.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Only.
How are you? How are you? It is
So
great to see you.
Here we are, exactly where we left.
It was like it was only yesterday.
It was only yesterday. That's true. You're both good?
We were just reminiscing a lot.
Oh, really? Without me?
Without you. In '72, I was the Olympic coach of Peru as an American. And Jenner was there training, getting ready for the games in Munich, and I would see him every day in the practice track. We would sit and talk. And then when he told me he lives in Iowa, I said, you know, Bruce, this is not gonna work. If you're thinking about continuing your program, we are the center of the state of California, maybe the United States. All these great athletes train with me. I will never become your coach. I'll be your advisor, and I will, when I see things with my eye, I will tell you specifically what I think is wrong. And lo and behold, one day I see this person waving at me, and he arrived unannounced.
And you go, what are you doing here?
What are you doing here? That's exactly right. I'm here, you invited me.
Yeah.
So I said, okay, there's your apartment over there.
San Jose is where Bruce went to train leading up to the games in '76.
had quite a little group of athletes in San Jose. It was by far the best move for me. If I want to throw the shot, there was a guy named Al Feuerbach who lived right down the street. Al is the world record holder of the shot.
I mean, I showed up here because it seemed like a place where I could gain energy off the training situation. You were very smart, I think, to come here for those years before Montreal.
We had so many people all living there in San Jose. And for me, being a decathlete, I could run around and do everybody's workouts with them and learn so much from them.
The hardest part about this is trying to get the weight up on top of you, okay?
You know, Bruce was all in on this for many reasons. You can't be more all in than living in an apartment next to the track.
Yeah, he was a good athlete. He was a great athlete. But the gold medal, I mean, this is amazing. This is the guy that was running around this track with his dog, with Bertha. Here comes Bruce, you know, he's all 180 pounds of him. He's gonna put the shot with the world champions now.
Human being around this track. If I just sit there in the middle of the track.
When I first saw Caitlyn today,
it was about a mile loop, and I'd run like,
I saw the same person.
you know, 5 miles every morning and then 5 miles
Slightly
at night.
different in some ways, but the same good heart.
I'm thinking to myself, you know, obviously it's been a long time, but how blessed I am to have people like both of you in my life who are understanding of my issues. You know, you always wonder, what's the reaction going to be? You know, I struggled with myself all my life, and it was a long struggle, but I finally got to a point where I couldn't go any further.
I mean, it's easy when you're an athlete because you don't really have a choice. Every day you wake up and all you want to do is get out and train and improve. You don't really have to deal with the other issues of who am I?
To be accepted and loved by your friends is by far the most important thing. Number one is family, and then after that, your friendships. You know? It's all good, baby.
Yeah. I can tell you the phone, I still love you. I still love you, man.
I know. And you've been around long enough. You've been around long enough to learn a lot in life. A guy like Al Feuerbach, when you think of him, oh boy, big, strong shot putter in the weight room and this and that.
Artificial turf.
Is that accepting of me really means a lot to me. Yeah.
It's like it was only yesterday.
Like it was only yesterday. It was a long time ago.
Well, Al, when you were here, you threw from that.
Give me love here.
You got it, babe.
Sit on your big furry dog.
Started getting interesting.
July 17, 1976. The 21st Olympiad opens, and Bruce Jenner is there.
By the time they got to Montreal, Jenner knew that he was in the best shape of his life and knew that he was ready to attack his own world record and claim the gold medal that he had worked so hard for. But you got to go out and do it.
When I got there, I thought, my God, dreams do come true. Here I am. Now I was in a different place. I was the #1 guy in the world. I was the world record holder going in. So I came there with one purpose, and that was to win. The first event, the 100 meters, I've never been the big sprinter.
He only had one chance, and he went out and ran the best 100 meters of his life and immediately took the lead in the event. Caitlyn says now that she knew it was over then.
I knew I was well prepared and ready to go. The 400 meters by far was, I think, my best race.
Bruce ran under 48 seconds for the 400 meters for the first time in his life. Then it was really over.
One thing that was really important in 1976 that I'm today so proud of is every time I got my foot on the starting line, I got ready to go. I knew this would be the last time in my life I would ever do this. I loved what I was doing. I was the best in the world at what I did. But I knew this also would be the last time. I kept thinking, hold on to the moment, hold on to the moment. Remember this moment, it's gonna be over with so quickly. You got a long life to live after this. I was very emotional during the entire thing because I had to walk away.
He was commoditized in a way that very few athletes before him had been. He was on a Wheaties box. He was one of the first and most famous athletes to be on a Wheaties box. He got chances to act on television. He got chances to act in movies.
He got into auto racing. There he is there with a victory smile. He gave a lot of speeches, and he looked like this when he gave the speeches. His smile was international. His reputation was international. I think as his life went on, it became a little lonely. I think he realized he couldn't be the Bruce Jenner he was before. And this was hard for him. I'd like to go to a restaurant and everyone's standing in line to get your autograph. That's not easy.
When I was a little kid, I used to ride my bike to Westchester County Airport and watch little private planes land. And then in 1977, right after the games, I got my pilot's license. I've always loved the freedom of being able to fly. If you're heading home or going someplace or all by your little lonesome, looking at the world thinking, you know what? This is good.
Thank you so much. Thank you, guys.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I, right now, for the first time in my life, really like myself. And that took a long, long, long time for me to say. I am extraordinarily proud of my life and what I was able to accomplish. And because of that, it kind of puts me in the position that I'm in today, where I hopefully can make a difference in the world.
Everything she does takes courage. I mean, I think it takes courage for her to get out of bed in the morning. And then to go beyond that and take stands and make political statements. All those things take a lot of courage, and I have great admiration for everything she does in that area.
For many years, I lost my enthusiasm for life, literally stating, oh my God, a trans woman in New York, I gotta take a pee. Trump International Hotel, I love this, okay. This is an issue that is an issue of humanity, of mankind. This issue doesn't have borders. This issue is all over the world. And yeah, I would have to say the little bit of competitive Bruce still living down inside me. You know, I couldn't have done it without him, that's for sure. Let's go see if the fence is still here.
In San Jose, Jenner becomes part of a community of world-class athletes training for Montreal.
And there it is. The fence is still there. Yeah, this is the old fence. See, what I would use this little thing right here, put my hands up there, flip over,
He works out every day, beginning before breakfast.
Boom, over the fence. I have thought about, what if you didn't win the games? What would my life be like? Would I have been able to, at maybe a younger age, deal with transitioning, be authentic to myself, all of those types of things? I've thought about those types of things. Because after the games, I had a lot of I call them distractions from myself about who I am.
Can we take a quick picture with you real quick?
Sure, let's do it.
Excellent. I appreciate it.
There is no Olympian that has done more in the way of social change than Caitlyn Jenner did by transitioning. Because without that gold medal, Caitlyn Jenner is just a 66-year-old woman who made a very difficult decision to transition.
Sometimes I felt, because I've had everything change, name change, everything's changed. But I was throwing out my past.
You and Carl Lewis?
Me and Carl, like it never happened. At the time, Carl was the man. And I'm very proud of those times. This was a big part of my past. It's part of my life. It made me who I am.